Hello, my reading friend. Welcome back to the Jane Austen Literacy Foundation channel. My name is Melissa. I am the community manager, and I am really excited today to be hanging out with you and doing another huge library book haul. I wanted to talk about why I love library book hauls so much. So I am on a mission to build up my home library with books that I have maybe heard a lot about or I've seen out there. They spark my interest, and I want to do it on a budget because books get very expensive very quickly. And I do think it is really stimulating to have a home library of books that interest you, and to also be culling through those. So if there's over time things that don't interest you, I think it's great to be able to pass those on to other people that might be interested in them, and share the love of books. So I have, over the last year or so, been really exploring library book sales a bit more. I used to shop a little more used online, but the prices have been I have found the library sales to be amazing. So I have 18 books here today that I'm going to share with you that I just got in my latest haul. And I want you to put down in the comments your guess as to how much it costs. And then I share with you at the end and let you know what the total was for these 18 books. I will let you know it is all paperback and 3 hardcover books. So you can factor that into your guess. So I have a few things to say about library sales, so you know what to expect if you haven't really done them before. What I have noticed in the ones that I go to is that, one, you are going to see a lot of really popular authors, because oftentimes libraries are buying multiple copies of certain authors because the demand is so high. So if it's really popular books that, you're going to find your international bestsellers, books that have sold over 1 million copies, your Grisham, your Michael Connelly, your whenever I try to list authors, my mind always goes blank. There's popular authors that you'll see maybe from a decade ago. So it can be the books that you've seen everywhere before, and also it can be oftentimes books that were popular maybe 10 years ago because the libraries had them, and now not as many people are checking them out, and they're kind of clearing their shelves a bit, which can be good or bad. It really depends also what genres you're looking to read. So I am building up my historical fiction. I do okay. It's definitely not, at least in the libraries that I go to, one of the most common genres to find there, but I do okay with finding them. I'm always on the hunt for contemporary romance, but I really don't find those barely ever. I have one in the stack. So just know going into it to have fun, and it is like a treasure hunt because you never know what you're going to find. Sometimes I go back to the same libraries and find absolutely nothing, and other times I will leave with a huge bag of books. So very arbitrary, but it is just the fun of going out and exploring and seeing what you'll find. You'll see that I actually have a couple duplicates of books that I found because sometimes it's too hard to pass them up, and I do have a little free library here, so I always feel like I can put it in there and it will find a good home that way. So it kind of takes the guilt away from buying books that you probably should resist, but you know that someone else out there will appreciate as much as you do. I did find some really good gems in this pile, I think, and I am excited to share it with you, and I hope that you enjoy this as well. Let me know also down in the comments, do you frequent library book sales, and do you have any other places that you think are great to find used books inexpensively? Because I would love to hear your tips and tricks as well for building up a home library. So we'll get right to the pile since there are 18 books to go through, and I know that I appreciate a video that does not drag on for forever, so I'm going to assume that you appreciate the same consideration. The first book I have is The Chilbury Ladies' Choir. I have not seen this anywhere before, but I'm not a huge World War II historical fiction reader, but this one looked like a little bit different of a premise. I was drawn in immediately by the cover. I thought it was really cute, and I loved the concept of it. So it says, they defy the vicar's stuffy edict to close the choir and instead carry on singing, resurrecting themselves as the Chilbury Ladies' Choir. An enchanting ensemble story that shuttles from village intrigue to romance to the heartbreaking matters of life and death. Jennifer Ryan's debut novel thrillingly illuminates the true strength of the women in the village of indomitable spirit. So I am excited to read this one. I feel like it's going to be a great read. Anything that I share here, if you have read it before, please also let me know that in the comments, because I love hearing what other people have read. All right, next up, I feel like I've seen this book quite a few places, and it just has, again, really cute idea to it, that there is Monsieur Perdue is a literary apothecary, so he prescribes books instead of medicine, and it says that this was an international bestseller filled with warmth and adventure. So that must be where I've seen it everywhere before. I have not read it, so definitely grabbed this one. I don't know if you can hear the creaking door adding to the ambiance, but I have a feeling we'll have a kitten making an appearance in the cozy chair soon. So be on the lookout for that. All right, next we have The Keeper of Happy Endings. I remember seeing this when it was available for an ARC, and I don't think I grabbed it then, but this was just a stunning cover, really pretty copy, so I went ahead and grabbed that. It is, after I just said I don't typically read that much World War II historical fiction, it is indeed World War II historical fiction, but I'm slowly adding to it, and I'm going to be dabbling in it, and we'll see how I feel as I go. All right, this one was definitely, I was drawn in by the cover. I mean, look at that gilded lettering on the front, so pretty. It definitely screams fall reading to me, gothic vibes, and I have to read this inside too. It says, a ghost ship appears in the mist. To the struggling writer Arthur Conan Doyle, it is an inspiration. To Violet Petra, the gifted American psychic, it is a nightmare. To the death-obsessed Victorian public, it is a fascinating distraction. So I am really excited about this one. Next was a really exciting find. I love Sarah James's writing. I think it is fantastic. One of my favorite sort of gothic vampire reads is Nocturne, I believe it's called, by Sarah James. I love that book. So I saw The Secret Diaries of Charlotte Bronte. I have all of her Jane Austen. I think it's the Lost Manuscripts of Jane Austen and another Jane Austen one. It'll come to me later. So I've read those, love those, so I had to grab this one, and it was in excellent condition, so I was really excited about that. Next, I told you I did find one contemporary romance, and this is 3 Holidays and a Wedding. So it looks like we have Hanukkah, Ramadan, and Christmas. 3 times the holiday magic, 3 times the chaos. This looks really cute, so I'm going to tuck this away on my holiday reading shelf, and I will get to it probably November, December. All right, this was a guilty pleasure purchase. I have this book in hardcover. I love this book. If you love anything to do with Poe, if you read Bronte's Mistress by, I believe it's Finola Davis is her name. If you loved that, then you will love Mrs. Poe. It is not my normal reads, but I really enjoy kind of gothic, spooky-ish vibes. This was a national bestseller. Just read this book. It's so good. All right, so next we have The Second Empress. This one, I think I said before in one of my previous videos that I'm really trying to build out time periods that I don't have books in, and I definitely do not have anything to do with Napoleon. So this is Napoleon's court. It says Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte will stop at nothing to marry the Habsburg princess he hopes will bear him a royal heir in this compelling novel from bestselling author Michelle Morin. And it looks like from her bio that she has done some sort of archaeological studies. So I think that could bring a really interesting perspective to this book. And I'm excited to read it at some point. All right, the next is The Light of Age. And just can we talk about the difference in size? I feel like this book is kind of massive, but I'm not mad about it. It is about the captivating novel tells the story of Vogue model turned renowned photographer Lee Miller. It has interweaving timelines, and I just talked about, was it Learning to See, I think, in one of my last videos as a summer read. And this one kind of also has that photography vibe. So I'm excited to add this one into the mix of books to read. Next book, I was stunned when I saw this on the shelf. I think I did a little gasp quietly because I was in the library and I ran to grab it. And it is Lady Mary by Lucy Worsley. And I have never seen any of her books, at least here in the US. In the library, it's really hard to get them, and to see one on sale and in outstanding condition, I was so excited because I love anything Lucy Worsley produces, her documentaries, her everything. I love it. So this one, again, fits that time period of time periods that I do not have any books about, and it's by someone that I really enjoy consuming her documentaries. So I will try something written by Lucy Worsley. Next in the stack, we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I have never read this one. I know it was massively popular, and I don't think I've ever heard anyone say anything bad about it. So when I saw it sitting there, it says over 1 million copies sold, I thought I might as well at least have it on my shelf and give it a try at some point in time. It's never really immediately grabbed me as a book that I want to read, but since so many other people seem to love it, I feel like I should give it a try at some point in time. All right, next I have 2 copies, 1 and 2, because who can resist the personal librarian? This was one of our Jane Austen Literacy Foundation book club picks that we read, and I happened upon them, and I thought, I actually read a library copy when we did it for book club, so I need 1 for my own collection, and 1 will go to the Little Free Library for someone else to enjoy. I might ask my neighbor if she wants it, although I can't remember, she said she had already read it as well, but it will find a good home nevertheless, and someone else will get to enjoy it. If you enjoy reading and you want to pass along the love of reading to someone else, I would encourage you to check out our Friends of the Foundation Patreon tier that we have, where our book club is hosted. So the Jane Austen Literacy Foundation was founded by Jane Austen's family with the idea of bringing literacy to children in need throughout the world. And I feel like if you are a reader and you really know the love of reading and how it can change your life so much, you realize that the gift of giving that to a child can truly change the trajectory of their life. So our membership that we have on Patreon goes back into helping to fund literacy projects, literacy programs, and bringing the gift of reading to children. So if that's something you're interested in, I will pop the link down in the description box below, and you can come and see what we offer over there. Our book club, I will put in somewhere here what we're going to be reading for the month of July. And if you head on over to Patreon, we have multiple tiers that you can check out, and you can see what we've been reading for our past library picks or book club picks as well over there. Speaking of which, this was one of the books that we voted on that did not make it, but I saw it sitting there on the shelf, and this cover is gorgeous. And it is set in Australia in 1906, so I don't feel like we see Australia historical fiction, and especially in that Edwardian-ish kind of time period there. So this was 100% coming home with me. Next, we have Water for Elephants. This is one that I know was wildly popular. I have never read, and I thought it would just be great to have on my shelf to at some point possibly read. Then next we have Flight of the Sparrow. This is a novel about early America, it says, and it is a historical novel based on the life of Mary Rowlandson, and it is set in Massachusetts Bay Colony, 1676. I am really excited to read this one. The blurb caught my eye, and the cover is stunning, and I have not read that many books set in the 1600s in early America, so really excited to get to this one. Okay, we are reaching the end. We have 2 left here. So the next was the Book of Speculation, and this was on my Amazon wish list. So I saw it, and it is in hardcover in great condition. So this one is definitely coming home with me. I love the idea of the premise of this one. It is about a young librarian who he lives alone. His parents are dead. His mother was a circus mermaid who made her living holding her breath, and his mother drowned. His sister has been missing, and he finds this book that shares that there's like a generational thing of these women dying in her family. So he's off on a mission to try to find his sister before a certain date hits that in previous generations when the women have died. So he needs to find his sister before then. So really excited to read this one. And last but not least, we have Mademoiselle Chanel. This book is, again, like stunning cover, and it has this really unique, let's see if I can find page here. Hold on, promise. I can get the page open. A lot of black matte kind of texture in here, and it has gorgeous deckled pages. So was excited when I saw this one. I have not read a full book about Chanel, so I'm excited to dive a little bit deeper into her life and see what it is about. Yeah, that wraps up all 18 books that I grabbed. So did you put your guess down in the comments yet? Ready for a little drum roll? And I spent $8.50 to grab all of these books. So if you're really looking for a budget-friendly way to build your library, I know it is not the same for everyone, and different areas are definitely different in how their library systems work, but I encourage you to at least try and see what your library might offer and do some digging, have fun with it, enjoy the process, talk to friends, maybe they have some recommendations of where to find, or even just try popping into different little free libraries and exploring that way to see what books might come across your path. So I wish you all happy reading. Until the next video, I will see you later. Bye.